Fala galera, está chegando aí na Netflix Army of the Dead. O Zack Snyder está voltando ao gênero dos zumbis depois de Madrugadas dos Mortos. E eu e Marcelo Forlani, a gente teve a oportunidade de falar bastante com o diretor.
Caramba, bastante mesmo. Foram 20 minutos, né? Geralmente as entrevistas que a gente faz ali são 5 minutinhos. Dessa vez a gente teve 20 minutos para trocar ideia ali com o senhor Zack Snyder e aproveitamos isso muito bem, não só entre a gente, mas também com vocês que assistem aqui o Omelete trouxeram também as suas perguntas e a gente mandou lá pro Zack Snyder, fez para ele e ele respondeu aí. E, cara, Hessel, você lembra de alguma junket que a pessoa do outro lado, né, essas junkets virtuais que a gente tá fazendo, tava num cenário tão foda como o Zack Snyder agora?
O cenário é sempre a cartolina, né? Tipo, um cenário de papelão atrás, que nem aqueles stand lá de saguão de cinema. Mas dessa vez os caras realmente botaram um talento ali. É a mesma tecnologia que o Zack Snyder mostrou no filme, aquela tecnologia em que os fundos eles são gerados digitalmente num telão ao vivo, lá em tempo real. E aí ele mostrou isso nessa entrevista que a gente fez.
Hey man, that's a very good scenario you have there, man.
Yeah.
Man, this is so good. Is that an Unreal Engine you're using?
It is, but and this is our 3D model from Army that we put together for that. It's actually just at my house because I've been doing a lot of Zooms and I thought I would, kick it up a little bit.
And well, we're both from Brazil, right? And we know that you have a huge fan base here in Brazil. They are very vocal about how much they love you. How do you feel to be like almost a Brazilian citizen? If you want to, you can have the Brazilian passport here, man.
I need to apply for my Brazilian passport. That's the first thing I've just learned. And secondly, I definitely I can't wait to come to Brazil because hopefully that'll be soon. Yeah, look, I've shot in Brazil a few times. I did a few TV commercials in Rio and I had an amazing time. Loved the people. Love the experience, so my heart is warmed by that, so thank you.
What you're doing here today, Zach, we're trying to put some people from Omelete and from our readers to join this interview. So I'm going to ask you a few questions from people from the office and people from the web. And the first question I have is from Carol Costa, one of the presenters here at Omelete. She's asking about video games and survival horror and zombies in games, which are really popular. Do you see Army of the Dead becoming like a video game series?
We haven't really talked about that, but I think certainly it has all the elements of an amazing game. We can do mission games, we could do horde fighting, you could do haunted house, you could do full war. Certainly has all the hallmarks, so that might be fun.
Yeah, let me ask you something, because after you did Dawn of the Dead, the genre itself, it kind of boomed. We had The Walking Dead, we have all these movies and series, and at the same time, we have the survival horrors in the games. So it's kind of like an egg and chicken kind of situation. Do you think that the games became popular because of these movies, or the movies and series became popular because of the video games?
Yeah, that is a good question. I even remember just like Call of Duty starting to put zombies into the game, and like all these kind of like zombies are permeating all these differently, where you'd be like, what? The zombies just showed up there? Zombies are showing up there? So you have all these different places where maybe zombies, you wouldn't expect them to be, and they started making their way in. So I will say when I made Dawn, I really wasn't super aware of, not that it didn't exist, but I wasn't really looking to video games for inspiration for the movie at that point. But I could see how it might happen now.
Ben, I have to ask, what's the size of your playlist of alternative covers to classic pop songs? It's amazing.
It's kind of huge. Normally when I'm working, what I like to do is I make a playlist, and because I draw a lot of the movie myself, and so I make a playlist, and then I like to just listen to it while I'm drawing, and the movie. And I find the songs that kind of survive all the way to the end of that process, those are the ones that kind of make it into the movie. And really the hallmark song in a lot of ways in this movie with zombie, you know? It's just like, you know, there's an amazing amount of irony in kind of what that song's about and where it came from and how it, you know, and actually being in a zombie movie. It seems obvious, but it's weirdly ironic at the same time.
And you don't have to change it. You play like the original version of it from the Cranberries, and it's like, it's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see that, like, when we did, like, for instance, the title sequence song, you know, I had to change it because I needed the song to kind of do something, to kind of trick you into thinking that, you know, because the title sequence is really designed to, where you think it's like, oh, this is just fun. Like, oh, I guess we're gonna blow up Vegas and fight some zombies. And then it slowly creeps up on you and then, you know, punches you in the face.
I got another question here for one of our readers. His name is Claudio. He's asking, what's the most challenging thing on being creative on the zombie genre?
First of all, it's an amazing playground, the zombie genre. Like, we love zombies because zombie movies, the monster is us, right? And, you know, so I feel like that's why zombies have endured, you know, over the years and sort of become, you know, in the zeitgeist and really just a pop culture kind of phenomenon. And so for me, I wanted to be respectful and honor the sort of shamblers, but I wanted to, like, then sort of do an evolution where I get to, like, take you somewhere deeper. So that was really the why of it. This canvas does allow a ton of creativity.
Most of the close-ups in this movie, they are really particular because you have this, like, this shallow focus that you do. And I don't know if that's because of engine, the Unreal Engine, the way you shoot it. So why did you choose to make this choice in close-ups, most of these close-ups?
Yeah, I had gone down a particular sort of optical rabbit hole with these certain lenses that I was choosing to use. This is one of the lenses that you're looking at me right now through the same lenses I shot the movie with, but this is the 35mm, not the 50mm. These particular lenses open to a really thin depth of field. 0.95 really is a really wide open lens. And in experimenting, I was like, oh, when I shoot the movie, I want to shoot it completely wide open. And the reason why I wanted to do that was because partly I felt like there's this, even outside in a place, in a big daylight exterior, you can create this feeling of isolation. You know, you can sort of make a claustrophobic feeling even in this big, vast world. And really that was kind of this feeling I was getting at.
You're shooting this to Netflix, so people can watch it on a mobile. They can watch it on a 55 inches on a 3D projector on the size of a wall.
Yeah.
And I think that thinking about it, you played a lot with the sounds as well.
Yeah, it's funny because actually we were talking about it the other day, and because this is designed for a home experience, right? He said even in the soundtrack, he went bigger and harder than he would naturally or normally on a theatrical film, because he was like, you know, a lot of people are gonna be watching this with their normal home speakers, so why not just like go for it? Because, you know, it's one thing if you're in a theater where like you're basically, you know, murdering people with the sound if you go too hard. But here we were just like, let's just let them have, you know, the entire experience. And I think it really, you feel it.
Here in Brazil, we have this tradition of horror movies that talk about the undead. I don't know if you are aware of Coffin Joe. He's one of our great movie makers. And I have another question from our readers. This time it's Ed Milton. He's asking have you ever seen a Brazilian horror movie, and do you have like a Brazilian favorite actor or actress?
I do have a Brazilian actor that I'm I kind of think is not bad, Rodrigo, but
yeah,
he has a place dear in my heart. But I have not seen the zombie movies.
If you think that Arm of the Dead can be a franchise under Netflix, could we expect to have one movie made here in Brazil?
Are we going to come to Brazil for a homegrown spin-off of the Army of the Dead universe?
Yes.
Well, it's a great idea, clearly. You just came up with it. So
I will not charge you.
unfortunately, I was going to say, unfortunately, this is an illegally binding scenario. So I don't want you trying to hold me to that. But yes, that would be amazing. I would love that. Like, can you imagine a zombie outbreak in Rio? That would be fun.
Comic book fans here, they are really talking since Justice League came out. They're talking about superhero and DC films, and I have to ask you about this idea of doing a Black Superman because everybody's talking about it. Do you have a take on it? Do you see how could you do a Black Superman that is different from the Superman that we got to see before?
JJ's a smart guy, and they're bringing a lot of like really talented people together to do this. So, I think we wait and see what they come up with. Could be amazing.
I got another question here from Alan, and he's asking, Zach, where did you come up from this idea of having that badass zombie tiger?
Yeah, I really wanted zombie animals. That was like a thing I thought would be cool. And when you sort of look at Vegas and you think about like what animal you'd see here, a white tiger kind of is the first thing that jumps out at you, no pun intended.
And how was it to get back to the zombie movies after 17 years? That's a question from Geek Center.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it was fun to make the movie. I love the genre. I love, because I love sort of genre deconstruction. And I think in this movie even, I was really into this concept that we would be sort of deconstructing big seminal genre films like Planet of the Apes, or Escape from New York, The Thing, Aliens, movies like that, right? So not just zombies, but actually just big genre movies and the tropes of those movies and how we take them apart. So getting into this playground with a camera and zombies and this amazing cast, I was kind of a kid in a candy store. So it's really a great opportunity.
We have a few people here asking about Dave Bautista and his career at pro wrestling. Did you guys actually, we'll have to do like some pro wrestling moves here at this movie. How did you guys sort it out?
I mean, look, I think we do one thing in the movie where he throws a guy that's a zombie, but he is an incredible athlete and really physical guy, and he can do pretty much anything that I ask, which is really fun for me, with interacting with an actor, to have him be able to, if I'm like, oh, I need you to do this and this, he's like, okay, no problem. So that's really, for me, sort of a lover of action, and with my amazing stunt coordinator, Damon Caro, there's nothing we couldn't really come up with that Dave couldn't pull off. But also on the other hand, just his acting, the performance is really incredibly, there's a lot of depth to it, and he's got to really go on a pretty big journey with his emotions. So we get to see both sides of Dave.
Talking about the rest of the cast, we have an amazing ensemble there. Can you talk a little bit about how do you pick up any of those guys, because they come from all over the place, right?
Yeah, I guess from the beginning I wanted a really diverse cast and a really sort of world representational in a way. And I think zombie movies are their best when they're sort of doing some sort of social commentary. Refugee camp, we see that there's people, immigrants or people that the disenfranchised have all ended up there. That was first of all a great opportunity to sort of show this diverse cast, as well as Nevada is in the sort of southwest of America, near the border with Mexico. The politics of that region are really rich and needed to be sort of mentioned in this world, and that's why there's such a strong influence, Mexican cultural influence in the film, an important one too.
Cool. We'll have to wrap here, Zach, but it was really a pleasure to talk to you in this beautiful scenario.
Thanks, it's fun. It was fun. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I hope we get to see you here.
We're gonna pull back now.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Let's show the strip.